Go New York or New York go. No, I was kidding. Welcome to another edition of Talk That Tech. The
Number one tech morning show in the world. Good morning.
Good morning. So glad that you're rocking with us on this Monday morning, June 15th. We got Operation Tech Takeover in the building, ready to go. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for rocking with us. We definitely thank you all. If you do comment, don't forget you will be shouted out at the end of the show as a sign of appreciation from us to you. So, yeah, we want to just go ahead and take some time to we just wanted to go ahead and take some time to just kind of dive into the show. We got a lot to cover today. As you can see from the thumbnail and from the description, what happened overnight, a shutdown, where, when, and how. We're going to talk about that. We got a few other subjects to hit in right, as well. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe as well. And I'm also going to drop down our our button to call in. So if you want to call in, you can see that button on the top left right there. Go ahead and, or excuse me, top right, depending on what you're looking at. Go ahead and click that button and call in, and then you'll be able to go ahead and join us. You could call in, take a screenshot, press the if you're on the phone, you take a screenshot, and you go ahead and call in there and jump on and share your thoughts about any of the topics that we have at hand. So with that being said, we're gonna dive into the first topic, and I'm gonna pass over to Trey to tell you more.
Yeah. You said it. The U.S. government, they switched off something. And it's like, oh, I forgot they could do that kind of stuff. Well, I don't know how because they do these type of things all the time. But yes, the U.S. government, they just switched off Anthropic's most powerful AI overnight. Yeah, we talked about this a few months ago. It's a powerful thing, and so we'll just go ahead and get into it and why they shut it off and all the things. But basically, this is Anthropic's most advanced AI models that they came out with to date, and there were creators who actually already started creating videos on it, and they had to just let their people know, like, yeah, I created a video, but they already took it off the market for us. And it's a historic moment, though. So here's what happened on Friday, June 13th. Anthropic received a directive from the U.S. Commerce Department, and the order required Anthropic to suspend access to Fable 5 and Mythos 5 for all foreign nationals. Now, the restriction actually applied globally. So, foreign nationals working inside the United States were included. And Anthropic said that it received no specific explanation for the national security concern, which we talked about before, though. So, they already knew what they were concerned with previously. But, anyways, here's what happened next. Anthropic, they couldn't verify citizenship worldwide on short notice like that. So the company just shut down the models for everybody. Okay, so they were just less powerful. Claude models are obviously still remain available, but it's just it's kind of like your parents gave you that good sucker, the one that you like, and then as soon as you tasted it and you got it right there in your jaw, chilling, they're just like, hey, you know what? Actually, we about to eat. Give me that, and just wow. And now you got a big old Salisbury steak on your plate, and you're like, ah.
That tastes
Anyway,
like the same.
I know, right? Yeah, man, yeah. So, yeah, but Anthropic, they couldn't, like I said, they couldn't verify that citizenship, so they took it all away. According to Anthropic, while the government acted on this, officials became aware of a jailbreak technique, and the technique allowed users to analyze code and identify vulnerabilities in the code. So Anthropic, they reviewed the demonstration, and the company concluded that the vulnerabilities were minor and already known. Anthropic said competing models can perform similar tasks right now. So the company publicly disagrees with the order from the government and is working to restore access right now. So obviously, this is the first time export controls have been applied directly to AI models, and the United States has restricted chips before. Now, the model itself has become the target, right? So they've restricted chips for people in the past, but now they're like, yo, this model, they can't have that. Mm-mm, mm-mm. So advanced AI is beginning to look like strategic technology, which we've been seeing people use strategically all the time. But here in the bigger context of things, Anthropic previously refused to support fully autonomous weapon systems for the government. I don't know if y'all remember that. We did talk about it. Earlier this year, the Pentagon labeled Anthropic a supply chain risk. Tensions between the company and the government have been growing for months. So obviously they have this love-hate relationship because they get into the bag, from them, but at the same time they're like, yo, this is too much power. Okay, no one man should have all that power. Is what the government is saying, except for us. And Anthropic is like, no, everybody could have all this power. I don't know. What do y'all think? Okay. Um, Obviously, we're gonna keep seeing this. It seems like the more powerful these things get, and the faster they release them. I don't know, but other important things as well. Before I get out of here, businesses building on these frontier models are now obviously facing platform risk. So companies can prepare for vendor failure, cyber attacks, software bugs, and government intervention has entered the list. So that creates a whole new category of dependency. I don't know. It seems like right now, government authority, they ultimately determine who gets access to the most powerful systems. So I don't know if we'll ever see them again in the way like that. We might get a version of them, but obviously right now, access is dependent on policy. Access is dependent on the infrastructure. Access is dependent on the national interest. And that does change the definition of open, right? So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah,
Joseph.
we'll definitely see. I'm gonna go to the comment section real quickly because we do got
Yeah.
a couple comments in the building. We got Tech Coach Ralph in the building. Says, "Good morning. I was at the airport waiting for Trey to visit me, but ended up looking like Will on Fresh Prince when his dad left him. Why you
Yo.
don't love me?"
Oh man. Yo. Standing there, man. Uncle Phil had to come up and be like, yo.
Give him the hardest hug in television history.
I know, right?
That was a rough hug.
Yeah, and this is part on Tech Coach Ralph too. I heard that Uncle Phil told him in his ear when they was hugging, "Now that's good acting, son."
So that probably added to the tears.
Yeah.
Man.
No, man. Yeah. So a good thing to see Tech Coach Ralph though. So that means he had a good old safe trip there and back. So that's awesome to hear. But oh, that's funny, bro.
That's funny, man. Well, yeah, I wanted to share my screen real quickly because this is the site that I saw, just in case some people are like, I don't believe y'all. This is the site that I saw yesterday when I was on Claude. As you can see right there, if I zoom in probably a little bit, you can see it. Claude Fable 5 is currently unavailable. I mean, that is it in living color. You have access to Opus, you have access to Haiku, but you don't have access to that. So it really depends on if you use this a lot, that could be a problem, right? Obviously, there were, this is if you're not a Claude user, you might be like, hey, well, it doesn't impact me. But if you're a business, which a lot of business, we talked about this before, a lot of businesses have been moving away from ChatGPT, and ChatGPT has been more focused on consumers. They're moving over to Claude, and so Claude is not just to those who don't use Claude at all. For those who do use Claude, I should say, you know how powerful it is. Like you build out whole dashboards through prompting. It's a powerful tool. If you're someone that codes, Claude Code, definitely a powerful tool to use. If you use Cowork, you could build out so many different things. It's really, really amazing. And then you could do so much on it locally. So it's like to have that happen. It's like, oh man, you still have access to Opus, Sonnet being kind of the lower, like the standard, and you still get access to Haiku. But for the companies that are actually building things on top of this could be a problem. Obviously, it's out of Anthropic's control, but the fact that they had the government intervene like that, we know that they're butting heads for a bit. Even it's a frenemy kind of situation where they like, hey, we need you, but we want you to do stuff for us. Like you said, Trey. They're like, ethically, I don't think that's right. And they're like, ethics? Who cares about ethics? We want you to do it ahora. In fact,
for real.
if you ain't doing it now, we coming for you. And so that's exactly what the situation is. I wanted to just ask anybody in the audience. We're gonna go back to this question real quickly, just in case you guys missed it. But if the government can shut down the most powerful AI overnight, should companies be allowed to build on models they don't control? Should companies be allowed to build on models they don't control? And that's a tough one because a lot of companies will be like, hey, you know what? We got you for this reason. We can't. we need that. We need what you got. You got the sauce, Anthropic. Anthropic, you got the sauce. But we also need to know that you're reliable and that our business won't be interrupted if we're building something on top of these models. Because there's certain things you can't build on top of Sonnet. Like I'm working on a dashboard within my company for a particular department, and I'm like, I was using Sonnet for a bit, and they're just like somebody that I was talking to, like, yeah, you can't really use Sonnet for this. So these models are designed specifically for different functions. So that's something that hopefully they could get resolved and fixed. I don't know how many people actually use Fable. If you use Fable as a model, let me know. Let us know in the chat. But I'll definitely love to hear your thoughts if this is something that you use on a regular basis.
That's crazy. I didn't even get to use it, man. I didn't get to use it. I definitely didn't get to use Mythos either, but yeah, it sucks. Now I feel like I ain't gonna get that pure Coke in the vein, man. When it comes back.
Good stuff, Don.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss it.
let me go to the comment section because Techo Drought said Fable is too rich for my blood. He says too rich for my blood.
I know what he means. I do know what he means, but it's one of those where you just like, all right, let me try one little thing with it, boom, and then you're out of there. But I don't know, man. It's what they were saying though is the government they're starting to treat like these advanced AI, especially obviously Claude has the target on their back, like military technology, right? Yeah. That's what it's like. All right, this is put up just for us. No one else can use this. Matter of fact, we're not even going to show this to y'all for another 15 years when, like, oh, okay. You start going back through history and realize like, oh, the government had internet way before the regular folks.
Yeah.
Oh, the government had like, it's like,
Yeah, they get a chance to try everything else, but the AI has just moved so fast, and the advances have made so that they can't keep up. And honestly, it's a lot hard for anybody to keep up. Even those that are creating it, some of them have like we saw that we talked about those interviews on Diary of a CEO privately and other interviews where there's some people that are like blowing the horns like, hey, be careful. Yeah, I created a thing, but I don't know how bad it could get, or I think it get this bad, and they're like trying to blow the whistle on it. Yeah. It's just one of those things that we really don't have a tangible grasp on. Let me share some things though, because I think sometimes people are like, okay, great. What could this model really do? And I think this is actually one of the best things that I read about it. There's other things as well. I'll name a few of the stuff, but then I'll dive into one. So there's complex coding and refactoring could do, knowledge work and analysis, and vision-heavy document work, right? But this is the one that I think that they might be scared of the most is this long-running autonomous work that it could do. It can work independently for longer than any prior general available Claude model. Run an AI agent harness, and it could work for days at a time.
Come on,
planning
man.
Across stages, like delegating to sub-agents. You got your own live Jarvis, basically, and checking its own work. Like it was really, really powerful. So one example of this is in a 50 million line Ruby. If you know code, I'm not a coder, so technical Ralph, let me know how crazy this is. Then we'll go to your comments. But in a 50 million line Ruby code base, the model performed a code base wide migration in a day that would otherwise have taken a whole team over 2 months by hand.
Mm. Mm.
I'll have a resident tech coach Ralph explain how crazy that is, but that is a
It
type
sounds
of
crazy.
power. Yeah, exactly. It sounds like okay, Jarvis is here. That's like like Iron Man's like, hey Jarvis, send us missiles. Like it sounds like Jarvis is here. And so tech coach Ralph said, this is why engineers will always be needed. Ah, good point. Should never be fully locked into one platform. Should try to be as platform agnostic as possible. That is actually very true. Tech routes I still haven't seen any proof. I
Mm.
guess it's in regards to what it can do. And it feels like a Tootsie Pop. The world will never know, right?
At this point,
How many licks to get the center of a Tootsie Pop? How many tries? Or how much power does it really have? I guess the world may never know, except
I
for
mean,
those who
it's
built
all
it.
it's all a myth now. Now, you're gonna have creators coming out. Yeah, man, this is what I was doing on it. Then it just stopped. I was
Yeah,
almost done. It's crazy. This is about
it's
to be the craziest thing we ever seen in our life.
man, it's literally his name is actually very very fitting. Fable. That's what
Yeah.
so that's what it is now. It's gonna feel like a fable.
Yeah.
Oh man. Tech Coach Rap also said this, y'all, for those who are listening to the podcast. He said, it is crazy, but I'm more interested to know how close it got to building what they wanted versus what it actually did. Did it have a mind of its own? Did it say, y'all are not thinking big enough? I'm thinking, you talking about what you will do tonight, Pinky? I'm trying to take over the world. Like what extent did it go? And maybe that's something we could definitely dive in fact, if y'all want to dive in more to that, I'm putting it out there. Tech Coach Ralph most likely will do that on his show. So go ahead and follow Tech Coach Ralph. Go to youtube.com/, Tech Coach Ralph. He does the deep dives. He does studies into different things. So I don't know if you were planning to do that, but just want to throw that out there as well to check out Tech Coach Ralph's show. We got somebody else in the building. We got the Celtic Slav. Thank you so much for
Celtic.
coming to the show. The Celtic or Celtic Slav. He says, hey, fellas, I am an AI systems architect. I work full time in the industry. Believe me, Anthropic going offline is a good thing. Their bots
Mm.
were trash.
Mm.
Their bots were trash. I would love to hear your recommendations on if Anthropic is not in the biz, who would you recommend? Definitely would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Sounds like him or her and Tech Coach Ralph are kindred spirits on that side. I'm not gonna cap.
Yes, yeah. Let me put the call in the link as well. If you ever want to call in the link, you got to be 18 years older to do so. But go ahead and you could call in and you could share your thoughts and opinions about the topic as well. There is a QR code on the top right, but in case you can't click on that for whatever reason and you need to click on the link is here as well. So go ahead, call on the show and let us know your thoughts about this. Techos Ralph also said Google released Anti-Gravity 2.0 and said it's built an OS in 12 hours. I try to build a kids game. It's not easy as they marketed.
And doesn't that just sound like tech in like tech gadgets and things in general, right? Like you realize that these companies know that most people aren't going to do as much research as they would, you know, as they
Mm-hmm.
would like to, and they can say these things that are kind of true, and they know that you're going to go and give it face value. Like I was watching a video, I think it was MKBHD, and he was talking about how like Apple and how they were talking about on their phones and the upgrades. Yes, it upgraded, but they're using like numbers from a way previous phone
Mm.
to talk about the upgrade for this phone type of deal. And it's like, did it happen? Yes, but like, let's be for real. Let's put real dates and real stuff. Because here's the thing: whatever you put out is still better than what we had, hopefully.
Mm.
But I think maybe because time is going on and people are expecting more and more and more, that they feel like they have to inflate and do like say the craziest thing just to get people to purchase or buy, when it's not true. Like, just give us something that works, right? Like, you don't have to go all crazy with it. But I don't know. It's just what I think.
Yeah,
especially with what Tech Coach Ralph just said.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. Listen, y'all, tell us what you think of the chat. Okay, as like I said before, you could call in. The link has been dropped in the chat, as well as you could use a QR code on the top left of your screen to go ahead and call in to share your thoughts about this topic or any topics that we have at hand. But yeah, this is definitely one of those things we will keep an eye on, and love to hear it. If you have any other models that you say, hey, if you thought Fable was cool, check X, Y, and Z out. We definitely want to hear from you. We're gonna go right into the tech wire here, as we keep it moving, but definitely want to hear from you. As you may not, if you may know, the tech wire is actually a segment of the show where we basically it's sponsored by Secure the Badge, which is your ultimate guide to upcoming tech events. For more, explore securethebadge.com. Now, because of time, I'm not going to share with my screen. I'm going to hit on a couple of them real quickly. June has a few that are happening in a couple of weeks. We have City that's happening in Houston, Texas, their Juneteenth event on the 18th. That's right before Juneteenth. Then we have Run the World Summit that's happening June 24th to the 27th. We have STEM Noir that's happening. A lot of different events. So if you want to go check out the website for yourself, go ahead and do that. Texpo Dallas, is happening this month. A few different things that are happening. So go ahead and check that out. And also some events for July. August has a ton of events that you probably want to check out as well. So I would just say go for yourself to check out the website. That's securethebadge.com. You don't have to do it right this second, but you definitely do after the show. Again, it's securethebadge.com, and they do have tickets. So if you want to go ahead and check that out for yourself, there's a link there so that you can go and grab tickets for these events. You have to join the community to get access to free tickets, but it pretty much pays for itself. So that's up to you. Check it out for yourself. You're grown, but go to securethebadge.com for more. And then the Celtics Lab said, do you guys have questions about AI that you like to know? Well, yeah, if you want to come on the show and share your opinions on the subject, we definitely will love that as well. So go ahead and come on the show and share it. But we're gonna keep the show rolling because we have a lot of different topics that we're gonna hit. But before we do that, how was your weekend, man? Was it good? How was it going?
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I did check out. I don't know if you heard about that documentary, the AI doc, or how I became an apocalyptimist, something like that. But I did check that out. But also not too much other things going on. It rained a little bit, but Saturday didn't do too much. Just made some videos. Sunday went to church, obviously, and then after that, my nephew, he had a birthday party outside. It was hot, but also like overcast. I don't know how it was zapping my energy, bro. It was at a water
Yeah,
park. It's at a
yeah,
water park, and I was zapped. Like I just felt like the sun was stealing everything I had. But yeah, I mean, it was overall a good weekend, great weekend for sure.
yeah, man.
How about you, bro?
Mine was honestly emotionally taxing, emotionally draining. It was tough. I
For
was at a
sure.
memorial service of somebody that I knew that passed away, battled cancer for the second time,
Mm,
and unfortunately did not make it. And so a lot of us that knew him gathered together, and it was great to see everybody, but it was bittersweet because of his passing. But that was my Saturday, and my mom in town, so that was great.
yeah, sorry for that loss, man. But
Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
So it happened that she came in on the same days of service. So thank you, man. Thank you, Take Coach Ralph. I appreciate that. But yeah, like picked her up from the airport. She's now here with us, hanging out with the grandkids, and
that's awesome.
but that's pretty much my weekend in a nutshell. It was overall bittersweet, like I said, but thankful for the time that we had with him. And yeah, absolutely. So also, just we're gonna try something different today. We're gonna actually there's a lot that happened this weekend, so we're gonna hit some topics real quick before we get to our final one and our brown box special. So I'm gonna pass it over to uh, uh, what. Trey asked himself what happened to this is Techo's Ralph for those on the podcast. Trey asked himself what happened to good old Chuck E. Cheese parties that are
Man,
indoors,
dude.
not the stuff that's
Okay.
outside.
Yeah, man. These summer babies, they love to have these swim parties, man. My goddaughter, she has swim parties every year, or some type of outside swim party. But yeah, his first birthday was at Chuck E. Cheese, and now for the last couple of years they've been at swim places. I'm like outside, but it's just me. Obviously, I'm probably the only one who is like that. So I'm just like, well, I'll suck it up, pause, and just be inside, like, or be outside, but try and get the coverage when I can. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Well, hopefully we can set the trend of going back inside for these get-togethers, especially in the summer. Go back inside. All right. Well, we're going to transition right now to some quick hit topics. This is
yeah,
a new segment that we got going on here, but I'm going to pass it to Trey to just hit these topics real quickly, and then we'll go on to the rest of the show.
yeah. Let's hit these things and quit it. SpaceX IPO. Listen, SpaceX IPO. I know y'all saw it. Y'all had to see it because everybody else did. It makes Elon Musk the world's first trillionaire. All right, he got a trillion rackaroonies sitting in the account on paper, but it's still real. A trillion. I don't know. I probably have a. This is why I'm black. I'm black. I know I'm black. I'd had a T-shirt. Hey, every big Rolls Royce. I need the most custom. Matter of fact, shut down production for the next year. Only work on mine. I need the T-shirt. Oh, no, I'm joking. I'm joking. But yes, Elon
That's funny.
Musk became a trillionaire, the first trillionaire in history, and SpaceX made it happen. Here's the numbers: SpaceX raised $75 billion, the largest IPO in stock market history. The shares priced at $135. They opened around 150. Retail investors submitted more than $70 billion in orders. Musk's net worth jumped above $1.1 trillion. Just give me the point one at the end of that. Like, just give me that. Like, you can keep the trillion. We good. Overly good. Anyways, just to let y'all see how big that 1.1 trillion is, it says the gap between first and second place is enormous. All right. Larry Page sits around 291 billion, just to let you know. Now, here's why this actually, before I get to why it matters real quick, if y'all, I don't know if y'all remember this guy. He's in jail right now, right? But we need to pour out
Mm,
one. We need to pour one out for Sam Bankman-Fried. I saw this in
mm.
passing. Sam Bankman-Fried, he would have made over $15 billion from his
Wow.
portfolio, from his he's one of the biggest losers in this, obviously. But yeah, he, and also, just so y'all know, I'm gonna give y'all the full portfolio. Hold on. Not even the full portfolio, just the top five. Top five.
Wow.
Anthropic. Here's what his portfolio would be worth today. Anthropic, $80 billion from them.
What?
SpaceX, 15 billion. Robinhood, 5 billion. Cursor, 3 billion plus. Solana, $5 billion. That's over $100 billion, and he would have been considered one of the greatest investors of all time, just off of that. But guess
Okay.
what? Guess what, y'all?
What happened?
Because he's in prison, they took that, like, every single one of those assets was liquidated out of the bankruptcy. So, anyways,
Oh,
I just wanted to
mm.
let y'all know that real
No,
quick.
that's hurt. That's painful.
I, I just wanted to let y'all know that real quick. But so we had to pour one out for him. But either way, just to get back to SpaceX, why it matters. Obviously, they're no longer just a rocket company. SpaceX, they have the SpaceX launch service, Starlink, XAI, and Grok. Now, to keep it moving, um, did you want me to go into Apple, right? As well?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We can do one more. I'm still like my mind
Oh
is still.
yeah, 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 yeah. When I saw that,
That's
man,
crazy.
I was like, I,
Wow.
I mean, imagine that. Imagine you sitting in jail and knowing. I mean, you got all the time in day in the world, so you probably calculating the numbers on the wall. You scratching the. All right, this one I had this many shares. Ah, You probably wouldn't even do that. Don't even do it. It just make you more sad. But either way, let me know, y'all. Did y'all dig in? Did y'all get into some of that, or are y'all waiting? Are y'all gonna go ahead and wait and see if some things are gonna level out before you dibble and dabble into SpaceX? Let us know. The next little quick hit here is Apple. Apple finally fixes Siri, and they had to get help from Google, obviously.
Yeah.
Because they just weren't going to do it. Apple finally rebuilt Siri. Google AI played a major role. What's new in it? They have full conversational Siri, multi-turn memory, screen awareness, personal context, and they have writing tools across apps, and then conversational history is synced across devices. So Apple AI's ambitions are expanding across the ecosystem now. Um, you know, I had gave up on Siri. I actually don't even have it activated on on my iPhone, so I don't even know. I need to test out the new one, see what's going on. What I do know is they aren't like they don't have it as open as like some of these other ones, right? Like they did keep it, pretty contextual with the apps and what's going on with Apple, but it is a huge ordeal. So, anyways, we definitely wanted to let y'all know that the my bad, I had lost my point, but yeah, that's where we're at there. AI assistants, obviously, they have some out there way better, way more, but at least for your iPhone users, I am one as well. We did get an upgrade with Siri, so should be fun.
Tech Coach Ralph says, but it still sucks. He didn't comment that yet, but I know he's thinking
I
that.
know, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So we'll definitely learn. Thank you, the Celtic Slav. Appreciate you connecting with me on LinkedIn. But yeah, I
yeah.
think in fact, y'all, if you want to drop your LinkedIn's in the chat, go ahead and do that as well. In fact, we might do that going on forward. If you're new here, drop your LinkedIn in the chat. But yeah, no, it works for the whole Siri thing is definitely an open concept for me. I would actually think like something like Whisper Flow. If you haven't heard what Whisper Flow is, if they
Yeah.
created an AI agent as a voice agent, I think that'd be dope. They probably do have something like that coming soon. But yeah, I'm glad that they are trying to improve Siri. I'm glad they are. But speaking about Google helping Siri, Google might need some legal help with the situation that they have in Germany, and so we're gonna hit on this right now and talk about it. But basically, if you have not seen this, it happened recently that in actually June 9th, I would say, that there was a Munich court ruling announced publicly that Google legally is responsible for what AI says. All right, so let's dive into that if you have not seen it. But basically, it rewrote information in its own words, Google's AI, and according to its own structure. It's Google's own content, so that's why they're getting in trouble by the courts there. So Munich's regional court issued a temporary injunction against Google in late May, made public June 9th. So two German publishers discovered Google's AI overviews falsely linked them to scams, subscription traps, and dubious practices. So if you go on to Google, as you know, you could type in like X, Y, and Z, and it's going to give you an AI like suggestion of what the answer might be. I think it's kind of public knowledge that it hasn't always been accurate. You definitely need to double check the source for that. But these two German publishers are saying, nah, you got a step further. We are not a scam, subscription traps, or other things that we don't want to be associated with. So, right, the AI generated statements like, yes, company is known for dubious pro-business practices. Not from any source it's cited to, which is an issue. So what Google said back to this to debate it, it said, listen, the users should just check the source themselves. The court said that's exactly the problem. The AI didn't even check the source. So that's what the argument is there. The court classified Google as a direct infringer because AI overviews are its own content, not third-party content that it links to. So some people are taking it for face value. Now I'm gonna pause here real quickly because if you really think about it, you got to think about not just our generation, but there are some older people. I'll tell my father as well. My father's one of those people that he sees something, he believes it. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I saw this on the news about. You saw that Trump got shot again. I'm like, no, he's good, Dad. Or yeah, and I'm like, oh, love you, but did you
That ain't.
what did you watch that from? And then he pulls up some AI video on YouTube.
Oh.
So I was just like, so there are some people that do fall for the okie doke. So that's why this is a big deal. A Frankfurt court made a similar ruling in September 2025, by the way. This Munich ruling is stronger and broader. So what's going to happen here? We're going to definitely dive into why it matters. AI hallucinations are no longer just embarrassing, right? They can now become a courtroom problem. Every company deploying AI search, AI summaries, or AI generated answers are now reading this ruling closely. They're watching it because it can affect them and affects us, honestly. So the shift from who wrote the prompt to who owns the output is the question now that we have. And so basically, Google's saying AI overviews are designed to reflect information already on the web. The court said that's not good enough. You still gotta pay up because now people think that these people are scammers. So the question I want to throw out to you all: should AI companies be legally responsible for the wrong answers that the models give? Yes or no? And where does the liability line get drawn? What are your thoughts on that, everybody? I want to definitely hear your thoughts in the comment section if you can share that with us.
Yeah, I mean, it's yes, unfortunately and fortunately, right? Like you're putting stuff out there that people are like if or let me put it like this. People aren't scrolling past the first page now. Like there were times where you would like type in the search bar on Google, let me click this link. Okay, no, it's not what I'm looking for. Let me scroll down another 3, click this link. All right, let me go to page 2. Let me get to page 3. Most people, or a lot of people, not even most, some are, but a lot of people aren't even scrolling past the first page, and now they're not even scrolling past the first little summary. So if that summary is not correct, like what are we doing here? I mean, if I were them, I would also want to get it correct because trust is now now your trust is on the downtrend. Like, oh no, I don't even go there anymore. I just go to ChatGPT, or I don't even go there anymore. I just go to Claude. Like now, if I'm gonna use an AI summary, I might as well go to Perplexity, Claude, or ChatGPT instead of Google because I can't trust that AI summary. But I do like them, So I think that's one for sure reason why they should get it right. And if they should be responsible, yes, because it's on you to curate. Like if you're the curator and you're gonna curate, then you got to curate the right information. If not,
True.
Hey, you got to pay up, give it up.
Yeah, and I look at that. I look at it similar to how Google is. Like even when we used to operate just on Google searches, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search you use, there is a level of, hey, I gotta check out this website. Even though you go directly to the website, you still have to do your detective work and say, hey, is this website real or is it bogus? If I click on it and there's a bunch of different ads and nothing to do what I have to talk about, then I'm not gonna look at it as a source. I'm gonna move on, right? So
Exactly.
that's the same type of approach that I believe we need to take when it comes to this. However, we know the government. so it's like, how does this www thing work? I don't know. Let's shut it down. Chrome, you have too much power. Shut it down. So you know that really Google is having issues with apparently governments all over the world. Don't know who they ticked off, but it's like one thing after another. Tech. Let me go to the comment section because we have a couple of comments here that I definitely want to shout out. Tech Coach Ralph says Google is linking to the sources, but if
they are
pull AI out of those countries, they will collapse their economics or their economy.
Now, you know what, bro? Because of you and Tech Coach Ralph, I will update my statement. Because as I was thinking in my head, like, what do I actually do? That's what I do. Like, but also I wouldn't sue. I wouldn't sue Google because I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Because I am aware that they do put the sources there. So if I pick the wrong source, then that is on me. But I was thinking more about people. Like, people are lazy. They're lazy. People are lazy. And they just want to do, the easiest thing. And so that's really where I was coming from. Me myself, I've gotten stuff wrong before, and yeah, I just knew. I'm like, oh, the source that I picked was trash. That was
Yeah.
on me. So
Mm-hmm.
I do agree. I do agree with what he says. Like maybe they should sue the source, and then
Mm,
now because you've made it into their summaries, it's on you to make sure your stuff is correct. You
mm.
know what I mean? And if not,
Sue the
then we're coming for
source.
you.
Sue the source. Sue the source. Again, like, are you going to shoot the messenger or are you going to go right to the source? That's really good.
Yeah, it's
The,
gonna be the Spider-Man meme, man.
yeah.
Y'all pointing at Google. Google is pointing at the source, and the
Source
yeah,
is pouring at Google, and
yeah, yeah.
and the government's like, he's like, leave us alone, government. The Celtic Slav said they write extensive legal agreements that you have to agree to before paying for a sub. That is true. They do have that in place. I know Perplexity has something like that for subs. I think this article was pointing also to Google's like Gemini. Well, I mean, I guess there is some terms and agreements that Google may have to use them on their regular page. But I think I think they're talking about that basic search that they have that now has been improved with AI. That if you type something in, that summary that pops up to the top, that's what they're kind of I think bringing issue to because people are
Yeah.
typing that in. It's bringing it up. It says, "Hey, you go here, $1 million," and they're like, "No, that's not what we do." So Tech Coach Ralph also said anyone of them can get it wrong based on what's posted on the internet. That is right. That is right. That is right. And yeah, appreciate you to suck the slop. Yeah, but that's absolutely right. I mean, but they're I guess what they're saying in this story too, Tech Coach Ralph, they're saying that beyond what is posted on the internet, AI is creating this out of thin air. Is that true? Hmm.
Mm,
Maybe. Well, that's a good question though. I'm gonna pause there for a second because, like you said, in the next comment, he said they should sue the source then. And then he said it makes sense that the business will try to sue since a negative review will cause them to lose money, but it's a bad ruling in my opinion. And I think that's what we kind of need to like hone in on. What caused the AI? Is it really a complete hallucination, or is AI not just taking from like website sources? What if they're like reviewing reviews of the company and people are saying, "Yo, this place didn't do right by me. They are a scam." Maybe that is probably maybe they're looking at Trustpilot, maybe they're looking at Reddit, maybe they're looking at different other sources as well to come up with this summary, this opinion that's based off of what everything that they could grab. Um, that's those are the questions that I don't think we fully got answered, and so that's one of the things I want to definitely think about there as well. Like what other things could have contributed to Google saying, yeah, this is an issue because the issue was it says when AI generated statements about the company, it says stuff like, yes, XYZ company is known for dubious business practices. So if they're known for that, that's probably them grabbing it from what people's opinions are. Honestly, I mean, this is me speculating, but trying to put my detective hat on, my Sherlock Holmes hat, that to me sounds like they are grabbing from other sources of people's opinion that may not be just a regular website that is like a business page, right? It could be a Reddit, it could be whatever. So that's just me thinking out loud. What are your thoughts on that um, as well?
yeah, that is possible, bro. Because I mean, we know now that AI does hold Reddit in high regard as far
Mm-hmm.
as trust value, and so they do go there. And so yeah, I could see that being the truth right there.
Yeah, so that might be a story that might need a little bit more findings about. Maybe I can figure out who they didn't say who they were, the two German publishers, but I'm pretty sure with much digging, definitely I can find out a little bit more about what that is. But yeah, I think don't sue the messenger in this opinion. In my opinion, with this, Techos Ralph says they also include this is AI generated and can be wrong. They do
They
include that
do have it
statement.
on there.
So going back to what the Celtic Slav said in regards to them basically having agreements, and they do have that statement there. I've seen it many times as well, and it reminds me, oh yeah, I need to check the sources. So yeah. And then the Celtics Slav also, I messaged you a template to fill out. Okay, cool, appreciate it. I will look at that after the show sometime during the day. I'll definitely run to work, but I'll definitely look at that as well. And they said they found a hidden blog page from their competitors and used Geo for AI models to pick it up. Now that's another thing too. That's a really good point. That's a really good point. If you think about it, I mean, actually, I'm going to ask you the question because you're more of an expert on this than I am at all. When it comes to ads, right? If a company basically pays for certain positions within, like, if you search the competitor, I'm not gonna say any names, but I know a competitor of ours who literally has a page dedicated to why they're better than us. Now, obviously, there's a lot of other, I won't go into details, but that is, we don't do that. We don't do any smear campaigns because we don't have to. We are definitely a leader in our space, so we don't need to do it. Resort to that.
Y'all better do it, bro.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Even if it's not the smear campaign, it should just be, y'all versus such and such. They're doing it for that reason, the GEO,
yeah,
bro. Yeah,
exactly.
So it's not even on some. I'll be honest. They probably, y'all should have it. It's so that y'all can be. I don't know if y'all pop up as number one in just regular, Chat GPT search and all that kind of stuff, but that's a huge one, bro. That's a huge one.
We actually have. That's what some customers actually reach out to us because they found us through ChatGPT. So that's a good thing.
More will if y'all set up those pages right there.
Yeah. But that's what I was gonna say. Like, if Google or any other AI search decided to take that as the ruling, right? As like, oh, this is what this is, that and presented that on their summary, then somebody could take that as law if they don't do their own investigation instead of seeing that it's a competitor that's posting this, not this independent third party sort of research company like a Forrester or a Gardner. Like they could run with that if they're not doing their due diligence, right? And so that made me think about like what you just said about competitors took us route. That's a really good point because it's really true. Like competitors could literally just be like, hey, I'm gonna just create pages about why we're better or whatever, and that is now a source of truth for the AI generated summary. But if somebody doesn't do their research, they're not gonna know like, oh, that's a competitor, and they only have like 3 customers. Like, they just crossed over 100 billion in ARR. Like, can't compare apples to grapes.
And bro, and it sounds funny, but like we all know the best is almost like, just because you're the best, it doesn't mean that you're the most seen nor the most popular. Sometimes, though, not even the worst ones, but just like they're not as good as some of the other ones. But because their marketing is A1 tier S, they start getting to the bag, and so that's where it's important for those monstrosities or the big dogs in the space to continue to do the little things as well, or they will find themselves looking like the not even the hater, but like how to be like y'all messing with them. We the ones we really, and now it look like y'all hating when really like y'all really are the best. But so that's where you got to continue to do the little things, or you will be looking crazy, because these other scrappy marketers and all this, they know, like, yes, if you build out Reddit and you have your reviews on there, where people are giving real reviews on Reddit, these LLMs are pulling from there. If you build out those SEO pages, us versus them versus them, like, they're pulling from that. And so it's, you got to do all the things, unfortunately.
Yes, and that advice was for free, y'all. So go ahead and lock in with Tech Bag Trey on his YouTube page as well, youtube.com// Tech Bag Trey to dive in more. But no, absolutely, no, I appreciate that, and I think that has a lot to do with this story as well. So listen, if you guys have stories you want us to talk about, if you see anything, go ahead, connect with us on LinkedIn. I dropped my LinkedIn earlier, but I can bring it back as well if you haven't seen it, so you can connect with us. But yeah, go ahead and connect with us. Let us know. Oh man, this is a great story here. I'd love for you guys to talk about it, and we'll definitely dive deeper into this for sure. But in fact, I'm going to put mine right there so y'all can just connect with me. If you have not already, I just dropped my LinkedIn there, so go ahead and connect, and we could talk some more. Yeah, but let's wrap up the show here. We definitely appreciate you guys. It's been a great one. Thank you so much to everybody that has commented on the show. I'm going to shout you out right at the end. Before I do, let's go to our Brown Box Special. If you are brand new, Brown Box Special basically talks about stories of people that either fired, quit their job, unfortunately was let go. We've all been there, so we're basically sharing in our shared trauma at this point. But this is an interesting story. It says, if you work in a toxic environment and plan to quit, here's what I did. So I don't know if that's you, but this is what this person did. This is credit to Reddit, by the way. Completely toxic environment that I was in. Management was on booger sugar, which doesn't really matter to me, but it did once they started to take money out of people's checks. Woo! I decided about a year ago that I was going to leave. I made myself invaluable. I did computer work that they couldn't do. I changed programs and improved them exponentially. I made myself invaluable. On a random day of my choosing, I decided to quit because I already had another job offer, equipment set up at the house, and everything done and ready to go. I waited until I knew that they would be working extra hard and looking for me for the next 2 weeks. I walked out with all my stuff and sent an email saying that I quit and why. That is all. I only emailed HR. I did nothing more and nobody knew what was going on. I locked myself out of all the company equipment and deleted any of my personal stuff on the computer. The computer was completely reset to factory settings. Dang. I knew they would need me. They would expect me because I'm the only one who could do what they needed to be done. And I left and blocked all their numbers ahead of time. That is what I did and would do it 10 times over in a heartbeat. Oh, man. Now, let me ask you guys, what are your thoughts on this? Would you do the same? Would you do the same? Let us know.
Yeah. No, it sounds like a cold piece. I ain't gonna lie. It sounds like a cold piece. I can't do it personally. I couldn't. My integrity is too high. I can't do it. I'm not even gonna lie. But there is a piece of it that I probably could. He said that he went straight to HR. Like I never thought about that. Like, would that work if you just go straight to HR and be like, hey, just want to let y'all know I quit. Everything is at the desk. I'm done today.
Only an email and literally on the day of. Yeah, probably in his car.
Yeah, I know, right? Like you send it from yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was like, can you do that? If so, I mean, that's I mean, he went straight to the source. If HR is going to be the ones that need to know, that is straight to the source. When I say too much integrity, I just mean like to know that it's a huge project, and that's when I decide to boom. Like it's one thing if it just falls on the day, and I'm just like, all right, I can't do this no more. I'm done. And then like that next day, they're starting a huge project. That is what it is, and leaving them hanging. But I don't know. That sounds wild, but I mean, to see it, hey, that was a cold piece for sure.
Yeah, and the premeditated part, that's a little bit tough when it's like, as it said, I waited,
that's what I'm talking about. I really was curious about the HR piece. Like that's pretty
yeah, I like if only reason I would probably do something like this is if something egregious happens. Like
man, right, y'all taking advantage of me, man.
Yeah. Oh, like there's something disrespectful that's like completely like, oh no, I gotta go. That's the only reason I'll probably quit. Now, one thing I was thinking about legally was, could he reset his computer to factory settings with all the stuff that they have in regards to
that they own now,
specifically about the company the specific IP or intellectual property that the company itself had. Would that be a situation? And so now, if he's the only person that could do it, and he deleted the factory settings, and they have nowhere else to go, that could put them in a huge bind. Who knows what kind of company it is? Is this a 20-team company? If this is 200, this is 2,000 or so. Like what's the extent of his influence there? If it's 20 people, he might have hurt them severely.
You know,
Um,
these days, I'm heavy on the white route. Okay, so
so like,
if that was the case, hey, I'm suing. I'm
no.
suing. I'm taking a piece of your check for the rest of your life. You
Oh
gonna
my,
remember deleting hours. You signed the contract. You everything on that computer is ours.
Mufasa,
You
remember.
deleted it. You deleted it. Oh, I'm coming for you.
Man, Mufasa, so remember.
Exactly.
You gonna
You gonna
remember this,
remember me.
yo. Yeah.
Every time you get it, I'm taking a piece of your check. You
Click,
gonna
click, click.
remember. Golly, why did I do that?
Yeah, I should have done that. But listen, y'all, what are your thoughts on this? I'm actually curious. I might go back to the story and see if they did an update and say, well, I'm going to court. They decided to sue me. We'll let us know in the chat what your thoughts are. But before we wrap up the show, we wanted to say thank you to everybody that, even if you're watching and didn't say anything, that's totally fine. We wanted to give a shout out to those that did comment. We got OTTO in the building. As always, appreciate you, man, for being
Mm-hmm.
foundational. 701 commented, ready to go. Tech Coach Ralph. If y'all are not familiar, go to youtube.com/add Tech Coach Ralph. You will not be disappointed. Appreciate you for commenting. And the Celtic Slav. The majority of people don't know how to use AI properly. They mostly just use tools. He said, I am here to help. So that is dope. Definitely appreciate you for sure. And listen, y'all, if y'all don't have to show your face, but if you ever want to share about or basically chime in on any topic and you want to just talk about it, you could just come on, take your camera off. The QR code is on the top left. We're going to put that there throughout the show so you have an opportunity to call in. But we just want to thank you guys. We really thank you guys. Without you, the show does not exist. We appreciate you and thank you so much. And then you've been tuning in to Talk That Tech. The
#1 tech morning show in the world. We'll see y'all next week, baby.
yes, peace and elbow grease.